Welcome to AA Comics. I'm Aaron Baldwin, and once again, I want to invite you on a journey. This time to the faraway land of New Jersey. I ventured out to New Jersey a little over a month ago to buy a comic book collection with my guy Gary over at Very Gary Comics. Gary will always have New Jersey, and I just want to go on record and say it was swell partnering with you. Back to brass tacks. Gary and I drove on down to New Jersey, met up with the gentleman who got this comic book collection from a storage unit, classy, and we negotiated with him for a sweet price. We drove back down to my place, and we drafted the comic books. There's a video over at Gary's channel. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check it out. And anyways, these are the books that I drafted. Wanted you guys to see what I got, and I actually found a couple surprises in there in the pile of books, and Gary did as well, so that was sweet. So here we go. First book that was kind of a surprise is Warlock 15. This is actually the first cover appearance of Gamora, which is really awesome. It also has a couple other first appearances in it. See, Gamora's over here. It's a sweet cover. It was just in there. It's not really a great copy. It's probably, I don't know, a 3.5 or 4.0, but it's in there. It's cool. Next book, kind of an interesting piece of trivia. This is Dead of Night featuring Scarecrow, Dead of Night 11. So Scarecrow was actually supposed to be in a couple other books, but both those books were canceled before he could appear. And then later on, Scarecrow would be renamed to Strawman because DC has a character named Scarecrow, and their Scarecrow is older. So this was also in the pile. It's a neat book. Again, this book is 4.5, but it's cool. It's just kind of a neat piece of comic book history. Now I'm going to move on to X-Men. Now, Gary got the bulk of the X-Men, but there were a couple books that there were doubles of, and I picked up one or two that he didn't. So, just for variety's sake. This is X-Men 100. This is a key. This is the original X-Men versus new X-Men. And this is also the first time Colossus launches Wolverine at someone else, which is kind of neat. This book is in terrible condition. It's a 2.0... 2.5. Normally this book would be quite a bit of money, but in its present condition, not as much. But it's still a sweet book. Then I got X-Men 104. This is first partial team of appearance of the Starjammers. This book is in decent shape. There were two of these in the collection, so Gary got one of these as well. X-Men 106. X-Men 109. X-Men 109 is the first appearance of Weapon Alpha. This book is in decent condition. It could definitely use a press. Maybe 7.0. Maybe. Probably 6.5, 6.0. But it's a sweet book, and it's definitely a key. This is X-Men 115. And this is X-Men 128. And that pretty much wraps up the X-Men books I got. Next is Black Panther. So I actually got Black Panther #1. This is the first issue in his standalone series. Jack Kirby goodness, so that's always good. Black Panther 2. Black Panther #3. Black Panther 12. And then this one was actually in the piles that Gary and I separated. This is Jungle Action 8 featuring the Black Panther. This is actually the origin of the Black Panther, the first Malice, and the first map of Wakanda, which is kind of cool. This book is, it's a 2.5, but it's still a neat book, and it's cool. Cover's awesome. So, it's dope. The next group of books I got was all Miss Marvel books. Now, I did get Miss Marvel 1, and normally this book would go for a lot, but this book is in pretty awful condition. There's a sizable tear here, tons of damage all around the perimeter. This is a 2.0 book, which is a little sad. That happened to a lot of the books that Gary and I were looking at, unfortunately. If these books had been in better condition, this collection would have been just absurd, but a lot of the books were in really rough shape. But it's still Miss Marvel #1, and that's cool. I actually got two Miss Marvel #2s. This was in my leftover pile of stuff, the two piles that we separated out. It's a sweet book. It's her second appearance. These are both 3.0 to 5.0 books, but Miss Marvel #2, Miss Marvel #3, Miss Marvel #4, Miss Marvel #5, which is cool, Miss Marvel #6, and then we jump over a little bit to Miss Marvel 10. So, nice little run of Miss Marvel. Books I'm glad to have. They're all in, 3.0 to 5.0 condition, and a couple of them might actually be like 2.5s, but they're Miss Marvel, and that's sweet. So now I'm going to get to the stuff that was actually worth a little bit of money. The first one is a book that I didn't actually realize was worth something, and it was in one of my two piles that we separated out before the draft. That was Iron Man 128. So this is actually, this cover is the alcoholism cover. It actually goes for quite a bit online, depending on condition. This one is probably 6.0, 6.5, so it's worth a little bit. But this is a famous sort of cover and story that I didn't really realize because I haven't read a lot of Iron Man, so that's cool. This is Captain America 217. This is the first team appearance of S.H.I.E.L.D. This was another book. I don't think we drafted this. We didn't really realize, or we missed it. But this is a minor key, and depending on condition, this goes for a little bit now. Again, this book is 5.0, 5.5. It's got ticks up and down, but it's a sweet book, so that's cool. Next one is another minor key. This was one of the last books I got in the draft. Web of Spider-Man, #18. This is the first cameo of Eddie Brock. This book is, again, a 4.5, 5.0, but it's a minor key. This is Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man, #90. This is a black costume, so it's a minor key. It's cool. Black cat's on the cover. Then this is Amazing Spider-Man 252. Obviously, I mean, most of you guys have seen this cover at this point a million times. This is the first appearance of the black costume. It's a cover swipe of Amazing Fantasy. This book would be a lot better if it didn't have this brown stain basically across the middle of the book. It does have some ticks, but it's an okay book. Definitely a key, so that's sweet. And I also grabbed Secret Wars 8. Again, black costume. It's got a little bit of stain stuff, and it's pretty ripped up towards the bottom. So this is an okay book. Again, it would have been nicer if it was in higher grade. A lot of these books fell into that category, but it's still a key. This is Marvel Spotlight, #32, the Spider-Woman. So this is the first appearance and origin of Spider-Woman Jessica Drew. And it's also the first appearance and death of Otto Vermis. So this is cool. Again, condition is a factor. This book is a 4.0. So it's definitely a key, but if this had been even a 7.5, wow, it would have been great. But it's cool to have it, and I'm happy to have it in the collection. This is Thor 337. This is a sweet book. First Beta Ray Bill. Awesome cover. This definitely has some tanning. It's got some ticks. It's a mid-grade book, but a key. So I snagged it. Next, we got some Wolverine goodness. This is Wolverine 1, Frank Miller's miniseries. Pretty sweet cover. This one's actually in much better condition. I would give this a solid 7.0. It does have a little stain over here in the corner, a little one, so maybe it would be lower, 6.5-ish, but it presents really well. It's a nice book. This is Incredible Hulk 340. Again, iconic cover, McFarlane goodness. This cover is also in pretty decent shape. Again, 6 to 7.0. It's a nice cover. It was a good pickup. Solid. And then my best book, I think, that I got was The Savage She-Hulk #1. This book's in pretty solid shape. It's definitely not, a 9.8 or anything like that, but I would say it's 7.0 range, right in there. Maybe 7.5 if they were feeling super generous. So it's a decent book. This is heating up a little bit right now because of the show speculation and all that sort of thing, but it's cool. I'm happy to have it. And that's all I got, guys. That's what I pulled out of the collection. Again, I had 2 stacks of other stuff. Werewolf by Night, some other Hulk, but nothing that was a key. All the keys I already showed you. So this was a fun team up. Again, I will leave a link in the description below of the draft so you guys can see it and how we acquired their books. And then Gary also shows off what he got in the draft. He did pretty well. So this was sweet. I look forward to trying to do it again. I'm always on the lookout for new collections. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, like and subscribe. I appreciate your support, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Later. I know what you're thinking. A vest? Really, Aaron? Aren't you taking this a little too far? And to answer your question, no. I don't think I'm taking it far enough.